Okay, guys, let's jump into this video. Now, I told you all that I was going to do a full recap of that interview that Chantel Christie, Jackiechristie's daughter, did with Carlos King. And as y'all know, the interview was a little over 2 hours. So it was a lot of material to cover. I did see it, but I needed to watch it again to actually take notes. So, like 5 hours, because I watched it once. Then I watched it again, took notes, and then I did like another 30 minutes just to make sure. So, y'all, we're going to get into this interview and we're just going to kind of recap everything here. So, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you guys are not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also, if you guys are not following me on TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram, and most recently Twitch, please go ahead and do so. And I am on Twitch, not Twitter, because I know a lot of you guys were asking me. Twitch is TWITCH. So make sure you guys are following me and let's jump into this recap.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
When I tell you the interview was crazy, I had to go watch it again just to make sure I wasn't a little delulu because I said, now, did this girl just do a whole interview and double down on everything she did? You know, the video was titled Accountability, except for one thing. I was waiting on her to actually take accountability because I saw none. So let's kind of get into it. I have notes, y'all. So if y'all see me flipping pages, it's because I had to take notes. So what we did learn in this interview is Carlos wanted everybody to know that he did not reach out to her. She reached out to him. The one thing that is very concerning is she reached out to Carlos almost immediately, which is kind of, or should kind of show y'all that this girl is a clout chaser, because it brings into question exactly what people have been saying. She wants Jackie life so bad. You know, Jackie was also on Carlos King. So she thought that would probably be a very interesting thing for her to go on Carlos King. She mentioned that, you know, TMZ, Shade Room, and all these other folks had reached out to her, but she didn't want to go with them. So that's what she stated. Um, Whatever, girl. But she does seemingly confirm, and I said that in my last video, that she is gone. She's not going to be on the show anymore. She states that, you know, she basically packed up her stuff. She's gone. She's not coming back. She says she's done with the show. But the girl, you're not coming back to the show. People don't like you, okay? Now, Carlos asked her, was she mentally in a good place? She claims that people have been threatening her and says that people have promised to do things to her, you know, harm her. And it's giving Karen. I just feel like this girl finds herself a victim in every single circumstance. So now she's saying people are threatening to harm her. Girl, whatever. Okay, whatever. She claims she has a strong support system like her husband, her sister in law, and her friends. I would love to see her friends, because I want to know what kind of friends do you have that think that it's okay for the way that you act. The way that you act is stupid. Like there's just no rationale for how a 32-year-old can be this stupid. I frankly don't think she will be married long, because I just wonder what her young husband's parents says, considering he's like 27 years old. This girl is an idiot. She makes herself look so stupid. And if I was her mother, I would be so embarrassed, because the thing that is being missed for the few two or three people that support her is we're not talking about what Jackie did. We wasn't there. we're talking about what you did and how you responded and how you dragged your mother, which is a clear indication that you are an effed up individual. Okay. Now, Carlos asked her as a little girl, or how was her childhood? And this is what she said. She said she was called the poor rich girl because she wanted to work for everything. Now, she says, she didn't really want people to give her things. She said she ended up moving a lot. Her family moved a lot because, obviously her dad was in the NBA. So she talked about pretty much, she wanted to work for everything. She also said that people assume that her life is pretty much a life where she gets, everything she wants because of her parents. She says that's not necessarily true. And it's giving that she's trying to get in on her sister's story because, girl, you say you didn't get all of these things, but then you say later in the interview that you did get it. So it's a little bit shaky. Now she goes into saying that her grandmother was her mother figure because Jackie was chasing Doug. She says that she did feel abandoned. She says that now that she's a basketball wife and a mom, she understands that her mother made the decision that she made to pretty much chase her father. Chantel states that her mother wasn't there. And basically, she says it's her mom's choice. And this is the part that I just really feel like people are missing. Jackie wasn't chasing a man, that was her husband. So it is very clear that this is something that they decided upon as husband and wife. Let's not get it twisted. Husband and wife. This was not a man that she was chasing. Also, Jackie and your dad left your grandmother in charge, which is so crazy because she's also said numerous times that they love being with the grandmother. So it's very interesting that she feels abandoned now because she was with her grandmother, which again is giving that this girl is looking for clout using the very same story that her sister has used. But it seems like she's wanting to become a victim. Again, Jackie was a married woman, but you don't blame your dad. Your dad is a god, okay? She claims that her experiences with her dad, because she was asked, why don't she blame her dad? Because Carlos like, look, girl, people, Carlos did ask some a few good questions, but he didn't ask enough. So Carlos was like, why don't, why aren't you not blaming your dad? That was your mother's husband. She was traveling with him. Don't make it seem like your mother was running after some random ass dude. She claims that the experience with her dad were experienced. Now, y'all listen to this. Listen to it good. She claims that the experience that she claimed that her dad experienced with her mom, he experienced as a wife. What, girl? Because we're asking you about your dad, but I'm just telling y'all what she said because she spoke in circles and the interview was crazy. So I'm just telling y'all what this lady said. Although she was asked, why didn't she blame her dad? Her response was, she says her dad experienced her mom as a wife, which I'm like, what, girl? Then she says she experienced her mom as a mom, which her dad experienced her mom as a wife, and she experienced her mom as a mom, which still doesn't answer the question, why doesn't she blame her dad? Okay. Again, if y'all watch the interview, she was talking in circles and she said a bunch of nothing. Now, she claims her dad did not see the things that her mother did. For instance, her mother would say, I'm going to kick you down the stairs if, you don't do, clean up your room or something like that. Chantel says that um, pretty much the viewers are pretty much just ignorant because she is pretty much saying that her dad was pretty much not the same person that her mother was. So she still didn't really answer the question because the question was, why didn't she blame her dad? So she spoke on how her dad experienced her mother as a wife, which still didn't answer the question. Then she spoke on how she experienced her mother, which was as a mom. So ultimately, what she's saying is her dad didn't see what her mother did. Her mother would make statements, which still, girl, he asked you, why didn't you blame your dad? Now, what she did say is she acknowledges that she never should have spoke. She did acknowledge that she should have never spoke on her parents' marriage. She said she did this out of anger. She also went on to say again, that her dad was, just the greatest person, as you guys already know. She again, she's jumping all over the place, and I think this was one of the reasons why I didn't recap it at first, because I'm like, girl, what? But I'm just going to go with it. She says she wasn't raised on respect. So maybe that's her reason to say, I don't respect my mama because I wasn't taught to respect her. This is crazy. She says, I wasn't raised on respect, only fear. Therefore, she doesn't fear her mother anymore. So maybe therefore that's why she doesn't have um the respect, because I'm not understanding why she goes on to say that she doesn't respect her mother. Okay. So the only thing I can think of, she said that she wasn't raised on respect, she was raised on fear. Now she gets into Jackie told her at 12 years old that she hated her. Chantel feels that she's the most outspoken child that Jackie has. Now, when she said this, the first thing that came to my mind is I feel she's the most disrespectful child that Jackie has. Now, I don't agree with Jackie telling her she hate her, but what it is telling me is that she's been an awful person her entire life, because I'm just not understanding why Jackie would say that. She didn't give us any dialogue, although I don't agree with it. I believe this girl was terrible. Now, she does acknowledge her and her mom has always had heated exchanges. Again, so I'm thinking, I believe she has been horrible her entire life. I believe this girl has been spoiled and she has gotten her way. And this is why she doesn't respect her mother, because she wasn't taught to. Like she said, she was raised out of fear. When you're a kid, if you do this, I'm going to whoop your tail. So now she's old. I don't fear you anymore. So now I'm going to call you 99 bitchs. Okay. Follow me. Okay. Chantel, get this. Chantel was definitely provided preferential treatment. And y'all get this. She is a miniature Jackie. Chantel stated that her and her brother was treated the same, which is very interesting, because the question came up about the differential treatment. She said that she is aware that her sister doesn't want her to speak on, her sister's life. So what she did speak on is her and her brother. They got the same thing, which is a clear indication that, girl, you were treated very much different. Okay, now get this. She states that she had all the material things that she needed. Keep in mind, before she said she worked for everything. She didn't really get everything that she needed because she wanted to work. This is how you know this girl is a little kooky. So she states that she had all the material things she needed, but she still felt as her sister did, okay? And they were both left with their grandmother. Do y'all see how she's trying to tie this into there was lack of, I didn't get, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why she wants to correlate her situation with her sister. Let me repeat it. She states, although she did get a lot of the material things that she needed, she still felt as Takari did. Y'all follow me? It seems like Chantel wants her sister's story. Chantel wants the viewers to believe she and her sister experienced the same Jackie. I don't believe that she did. And let me just tell you why. When you listen to her sister, you can almost tell that she definitely was a person that grew up with a low self esteem. You don't see that with Chantel. Chantel seems like she thinks that she's above everybody, including her own damn mama. Okay. She said it wasn't like her sister got a monster as a mom and she got a perfect person. Y'all see the correlation? She wants to become the victim in her own story. And I believe she's actually the villain. Okay. Now, get this. She claims that the difference in her mom and dad, remember, Carlos had asked her this maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. She didn't answer it. She went on to say a bunch of stuff that wasn't related. This girl talks in circles. She doesn't answer questions direct. I know she said she had an aneurysm. Maybe she has something else going on mentally because the story was hard to follow. Now she gets to talking about her mom and dad. She claims the difference in her mom and dad is her dad is quick to take accountability. And I laugh my ass off because I guess she is more like her mom then because she don't take accountability either. Chantel lacks accountability. So it's very interesting that she says the difference with my dad is he will say sorry right away. Well, you don't say sorry either, sister. She acknowledges that she does not know her mother's experience with regards to what her mother went through. When she decided to have children. Now, isn't that ironic that you are a 32-year-old broad with two different kids by two different men, but you never took it upon yourself to ask your mother anything? It shows us who exactly you are. You are a very selfish person. So you don't know anything about your mother's childhood, but seemingly she is a horrible person when you don't know what she's been through. But we can Google that Jackiechristie was in child care, but she doesn't know these things. Get the F out of here. Okay. She spoke about her grandmother. She felt like after her grandmother died, she was alone. She says that she was her grandmother's caregiver. Who does that remind y'all of? Takari, right? She says now, though, she accepts responsibility for her actions. But wait a minute, y'all. Then she shifts it and says her mother does not take accountability. And I'm like, ma'am, you have to take accountability for you. She would have to take accountability for her. But in the same sentence where you take accountability, let's just leave it with you taking accountability. Let's not continue to shift the focus on somebody else. So it's like, girl, what? She goes on to say that she feels like Jackie was her first bully. Okay, this girl is the Lulu. She's very Delulu. It's like she's talking in circles. She goes on about these things that she experienced during filming, yet she can't really explain what they are. So it's like she struggles very, very much with communication. She talks about what the relationship was with her mother when she got the call to join the basketball wives. She says that they were not in a good place. But she says they were not talking daily either. I'm sorry. She says that they were not in a bad place. I'm sorry. But she says they weren't like talking every day. Which Jackie confirmed. So what she's saying is we wasn't really in a bad place. It wasn't like we were talking every day. You know how you have a friend that you don't talk to every day, not because something is wrong, you just busy and they're busy. So that's kind of how she explained it. She goes on to say she moved from Sacramento, California when her daughter was 2. However, her mother continued to send gifts, they text, but they had not been in the same place for years. What does that actually mean? Again, she's not answering the question. She's given a bunch of dialogue, but we can only take what she said. She said they were not in a bad place, right? She said they had moved, but the mom continued to send gifts. So I'm assuming she just moved away. So her and her mom not being in the same space for years, is that a bad thing? Because she never said what happened. Keep in mind, she alludes to all these things, but she never says what happened. Get this. So they talk about basketball wives, and she goes on to say she was definitely compensated appropriately, which gives me the indication that she knew when she came on this show what she was going to do, because basketball wives did not compensate you appropriately for just coming on here telling your story, because you don't really have a story. You really didn't talk about shit. So I feel like she told them exactly that she was coming there to blow up the spot. So that is why she was compensated appropriately, because these are her exact words. She said she was compensated appropriately for her time because she wasn't going to do it for free. But she didn't need it. She claims her husband takes care of her and her family. She claims the producers and Jackie came looking for her. So, do y'all believe Jackie came looking for her to have this idiot to come on the show and try to make her entire family look like a fool? She takes no accountability. Okay. She claims she was brought on the show to have Jackie play in her face. So ultimately, what she's saying is Jackie, again, no accountability. Jackie came and got me to be on the show. Okay. So now you say Jackie brought me on this show and she's playing in my face. We want to know what you're talking about. Again, she is a horrible communicator. What did she do? How did Jackie play in your face? This is crazy. Carlos asked her, what was the moment this season? I'm sorry, what was the moment in this season where you kind of felt as, your mom let you down? Y'all, I thought this girl was going to give us something. This is what she said. Chantel claims in the first scene between her mother that her and Jackie was, sitting down. I believe it was in an apartment. And Jackie asked about her ex, Stacy. Now, I've talked about Stacy. Stacy is the first baby dad. And it looks like that's the one that Takari was speaking of when Takari said she was messing around with her dad's prospects. Now, what Chantel states is that her and Jackie sat down and they had a conversation about what they would not talk about. Okay. Um, are y'all following me? But here's the deal, y'all, because you really got to think about this. Her and Jackie sat down and had a conversation about what they wouldn't talk about. Okay. Which lets you know, if you are sitting down with your mother having a conversation about what you're not going to talk about, you guys are in a good space. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. This girl is crazy. So her and Jackie sat down and have a conversation about what they wouldn't talk about. So she felt like Jackie threw her under the bus because she did talk about it. Now get into this. She talks about Jackie wanting to hold her son. She says that, Jackie needs to warm up to hold her son. I don't know if any of y'all are grandmothers, but there are situations where grandmothers just don't get a chance to see the grandkids. They could live in another state, all sorts of reasons. Carlos is giving this girl the look like, what the F are you talking about? And I'm going to tell y'all why. She goes into saying that she really did not want Jackie to hold her child because pretty much Jackie didn't know him and she felt like Jackie needed to warm up to her child. And I'm just like, who are your friends? Because you sound like a complete idiot. This is a grandmother. If the baby starts crying, okay, what's the big deal? Why does Jackie need to warm up to a child? She either gonna pick the baby up or not. What are you talking about? This lady is crazy. So Carlos is looking at her like, what? He's not saying anything. I wish Carlos would have said, what do you mean warm up? Well, I understand what she means, but girl, this is the baby's grandmother. Like, if the child cries, he cries, but why do you need to control your mother in that sense to say, you can't hold my baby? You need to warm up to him. If I was Jackie, I would have just walked out. Keep in mind, this is the same grandmother who bought her a Range Rover while her sister got, I believe it was a Ford Focus. What daughter tells her mom she can't hold her grandchild until she warms up to him? This lady is a complete idiot. So she goes on to say, Jackie asks her about Stacy. Now, the reason why I'm reading it like this, because this is the exact way she delivered it. Now, y'all probably wondering, like, how did you get back on talking about Stacy? Because this is the exact way that she gave the information. It's like she's jumping all around and the flow doesn't follow. So she goes into talking about Stacy now. Okay. She says, Jackie asked her about Stacy. Chantel says she gets extremely angry because she doesn't want to talk about her ex, baby daddy, due to the custody thing that's going on. So she says she was furious about Jackie asking her about her ex baby daddy. Again, she said they spoke before filming, and Jackie's, I guess they made some kind of pact that they wouldn't talk about that again, which is a great indication that y'all didn't have a problem, because if you had a problem, why would you be sitting down saying what you're not going to talk about? Get into it, y'all. Then she says, listen to this, y'all. And y'all wonder why it took me some time to recap this, because I was like, this is too much. Like, this is so much disrespect that I'm just like, this is too much. Listen to this. This girl is talking about her mother. Then she says, listen to this, y'all. She says her mother has a child, which is her sister, from a previous relationship. What if she would have brought that up and asked Jackie, what's up with Tyrone? Y'all, this is too much. This is too much. First of all, that would be messy, girl. For one, let me just tell you why. It will be messy and it will be dumb because your mother has been married to Doug for about 26 years. Now, this is according to Google. I thought it was 30 years. So you bringing up Tyrone, we would have been looking at you like you crazy, because Jackie has been in a consistent marriage for a very long time. We don't want to know about Tyrone. We don't care because it's irrelevant. But she thinks that she's equal to her mother. And it's like, well, what if I brought up Tyrone? She has no respect. We don't give a damn about Tyrone. This was a really crazy response. And it further says that this girl is slow. She has no respect for her mother. She then goes on to say she can ask me questions, but she can't answer my questions. It's just like, exhausting. Like, this is just like, I'm just like, oh my God. Chantel is the Lulu. Then she goes into, y'all, this is even crazier. At about 52 minutes, 17 seconds, this is going to blow y'all entire wig back. So if you got one, just take it off, okay? Y'all get into this. Chantel says that she is the only real basketball wife. This is crazy, y'all. She wants Jackie's entire life. What a nut. Chantel says nobody on this cast is married to a basketball player. It's given to Lulu. She feels she's the only basketball wife. She goes into saying, my dad, he's a coach now. And I'm just like, girl, take her away, somebody. Calgon, take her away. She goes into saying how it's Jackie's fault. Jackie is messy. Why did she mention her baby daddy? She goes into saying that Jackie tried to get Brandy to bring some kind of tea on her. Girl, get the out of here. What? Just like, what is this? Like, she cannot communicate in a way that we can be like, okay, girl, what is you talking about? Okay, this is just too much. Carlos again is looking crazy because during this interview, you can tell Carlos wanted to say something, and 90% of the time, she did not. She goes into mentioning that she was mad about Jackie for mentioning grandparents' rights with regards to her kids. Why would Jackie say this when she says, when she's already in a custody thing right now with the ex? She says, everything is coming at me all at once. All we see is you disrespecting your mama, calling her BITCHES 1,000 times. So we like, girl, what? This is too much. Then she goes into saying she made a commitment to her dad and her husband that she would not go on TV and show her ass. What, bitch? This is exactly what you did. This is exactly what you did. She says she watched Jackie, and this is what Jackie do season after season. And I guess she wanted to make a moment for herself because you did not do what Jackie did, because Jackie has never shamed her family. She's never did that. Ooh, Carlos has the look again because Carlos is like, what? She goes into saying, she felt like she wasn't protected by Jackie because Jackie brought up her son's father, which is crazy because she brought him up too when she talked about the custody situation. So I don't understand how she didn't want Jackie to speak about it, but she had already spoke about it. Therefore, she felt like she should not protect her mom. Therefore, she allowed Brittany to disrespect Jackie because she said Jackie didn't protect me. Let me just say this. If I wanted to be like, oh, let me just think about everything my mother did to me because I am going to get her back, I can find a bunch of stuff. But you better understand, ain't nobody disrespecting my mama, because if you do and I'm there, I'm going to go upside your head. And I've done it before. So I just cannot relate to her. It is really sad that we have people in the world like this. And Jackie and her husband needs to let her figure her life out. They shouldn't give her a quarter. Let her figure it out. Now, she admits that Jackie brought this opportunity to her door, but Jackie wasn't prepared how she was coming. Y'all catch that? At 1:02, about an hour and 2 minutes into the interview. So she talked about how she got all this money for coming because she was going to get her compensation because she wasn't going to do it for free. But Jackie wasn't aware of how she was coming. That lets y'all know she came on here with this bullshit. And she was not standing up to Brittany for Jackie. It just wasn't going to happen. But get this. But then seemingly says she was mad because Jackie did not jump on Brandy on her behalf. Carlos is giving these facial expressions like, this bitch is crazy. But Carlos still is not he ain't asking the questions. Oh, this is crazy. I may even have to play the clip for this. She takes credit for Jackie's success, y'all. And this is what she says. She says that there was times on Basketball Wives where she had a conversation with Jackie, and she told Jackie, well, she gave Jackie advice, and what she told Jackie, if she didn't want to discuss stuff, she should just leave. So she said she was furious because she had gave Jackie the very advice that she used on her. And I'm just like, girl, what? Jackie is a reality star. She's been in the trenches on this show forever. You may feel that you gave her advice. Baby, she didn't need your advice. She's there. Get this. Carlos speaks up this time. Carlos said, no, the audience took it as Jackie just didn't want to film the scene where she's fighting with her daughter. Now, this is how Chantel is so damn delusional. Okay. Chantel believes that Jackie was leaving the scenes to make her mad and not because she did not want to make her family look stupid. So if Jackie was leaving the scenes, cuckoo girl, why did she sit down and film with you? She has always said, I will film with my daughter. I'm not filming with y'all. So Chantel is so delulu and crazy. She said, oh no, Jackie was leaving those scenes because she wanted to get under my skin. This is what no name Chantel. She says Jackie was leaving the scenes because she wanted to get under her skin and she believed that shit. Chantel is a nut. Get this. About a minute and 19 seconds into the interview, she says she snapped on her mom because Jackie kept leaving the scenes and she felt like Jackie was playing games with her. What? Y'all, this is too much. Then she gets into this. Why does she need to respect her mother when she feels that she isn't given any respect? Have y'all or did y'all hear Jackie call her any type of bitch? I think she did at that last one when she tried to knock her upside the head. But before that, did anybody, if y'all heard that, please put it in the chat. Because I'm like, girl, you need help. Because she says, I don't need to respect my mother because she doesn't respect me. Oh, it gets crazy. And I may need to bring this one up because y'all remember the notorious hits. Well, it seemed like Jackie knocked her out. Well, it seems like, y'all, that Jackie didn't really hit her. It seems like Jackie did not really hit her. And based on what she said, and I think I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. Based on what she said, y'all, now keep in mind, we have been thinking this whole time that Jackie had to knock this hoe out. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I thought. And judging from what she told the cast is that Jackie had did some stuff to her, right? Well, guess what? Based on what she said, the punch didn't land. Jackie didn't really hit her, y'all. Now, Carlos asked her, why did she tell the girls this? Why did you tell the girls that Jackie had punched you? Like she made it seem like Jackie did all of these things to her, but now you're saying that she didn't? Okay. Now, Chantel claims she was in the moment. Now, Carlos is trauma bonding with her, and he wants to tell her, I understand what you mean because I'm a producer and these things happen. A lot of times the castmates don't recall or they don't remember. Let me tell y'all something. This wasn't a long scene. You would have known if you got hit upside your head or if you did not, because it's not like she would have hit you more than one time. It was just like one time. But y'all, let's get into the exact verbiage that she used. And this clip is coming from, let me get my mouse up here because it's all over. Carlos King.
I don't want to see this. I felt that way as a viewer. In that moment, of course, people are saying, Chantel, you deserve it. You pushed your mother. And people are even saying, Chantel, your mother should have done worse to you. When that happened, when your mother, and did she make contact with you?
She didn't. She pushed me into the camera. Like she balled up her fist and kind of tried to, like, she was aiming for my head, but because I ducked out the way, I fell into the cameraman. That's how the finger ended up bleeding. Like it wasn't there was no real contact that was made other than her pushing me into the camera. Her intention was to probably sock me in between the washer and dryer or whatever they on here saying, but that's not the way that happened. It didn't land. I wasn't, as you see in the next scene, like nothing, it didn't happen.
Then why did you go back and tell the girl she hit you?
I think that for me, and what I want people to understand is I can see how it looks like I was a liar. When I left that scene and I went back down there and I explained to the
No, girl, you are a liar. It's not seeming like you are a liar. You are a liar and you lied a lot. So y'all saw that. Now Jackie didn't hit her. So I'm just like, what's going on? Oh, it gets even crazier because Chantel goes on to state that Jackie aimed for her head. Now, keep in mind, she said Jackie didn't hit her. So, why are you talking about she aimed for your head? She says that Jackie tried to hit her like she was someone on the street, but you've been calling your mother 1,000 B's like she was somebody on the street. Okay. Now, here's when the Karen behavior gets in there. She says that her mother tried to hit her as if she was someone on the street just because she pushed her. What type of person is she? Who physically pushes their parent in anger? No accountability. Then says the viewers are ignorant. So she's saying we ignorant, but we not going around here trying to beat our damn parent up, okay? Then says as her mother, she should have understood that she was angry and that she should have not touched her arm. No accountability. Is this a mess or what? Now, I want to go into this because this is a piece that I think that y'all got to hear because she goes into Black households. And one thing to be certain about Black households is we don't try to beat our parents ASS, okay? So I don't know why she's talking about Black households because don't know Black household like her. But I want to get into this because it goes into my next point of reference.
a lot of us in specifically Black households are raised to believe or are raised on the belief, do as I say, not as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Have respect for your parents at all times. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do. I think that there's a new generation of kids and adults that are coming and that are happening that are not going for that anymore. I need to respect you because you're my parent, but you have got to give me something to respect.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all look at Carlos. What?
Why do I have to respect you just because of your title? Mother, father, sister.
Why do I have to respect you just because of your title? This is a 32-year-old woman with a husband. So her kids don't need to respect her on simply because she's their mother. This just crazy. Like this is the most craziest thing. Absolutely. You respect your parents for the simple strength that they are your parents. And it is a shame that you were raised to think, or maybe you're delusional, came up with this on your own. But look how she's explaining this as if it makes some sense. This is a nutcase. Okay. Now this is where it gets crazy. At about an hour and 32 minutes, she says again, no accountability because she wants to try to make Jackie look so bad. She says that years ago, her parents knew that she had something with her brain and aneurysms. So get this, y'all. Therefore, Jackie knew this about this aneurysm. She also knew that Chantel was stressed out. Then Jackie tried to hit her in the head. Now, y'all follow this. So, is she saying Jackie tried to kill her because She goes on to say Jackie knew that she had these aneurysms. She knew that Chantel was trying to stay away from things that were stressful. So she says Jackie brought her on this show to stress her out and then try to hit her in the head. Carlos is looking at her like, what? She goes into saying, because she's been dragged and now she's going to be dragged now for the next couple of weeks, or at least until the next story comes on the blogs. So she states that she's getting dragged and, people are saying things about her. For real, they are. I mean, girl, you making yourself look like a fool. So she says Jackie reaches out to her brother and says, does she want me to make a statement? Now she goes on to say that why is Jackie asking if she wants Jackie to make a statement? Because if she wanted to do it, why does she need to ask? Is pretty much what she says. And then she says she doesn't want her to do it because Jackie is just only going to lie. She's not going to tell the truth, and she's going to make her look like a disrespectful person. How can Jackie make you look like a disrespectful person? You can only do that. This girl is Lulu. Okay. So she speaks on her dad. Of course, he's an angel. I mean, he's looking down at us, right? Chantel states that her dad has been her protector. She states that her dad is the one who has previously prevented her from disrespecting her mother before. So this is instilled in her. She feels like she can disrespect her mother anytime she wants to. And this is pathetic. But get into this. She does regret saying that her dad is going to divorce her mother because it's never going to happen. She wishes that she will be able to find the love that her mother has. And I believe she has some kind of mental problem with her mother because at 32 years old, you've had two children by two different men. You understand that life is not always what we want it to be. So you must understand that your mother also had problems. She's not God, but somehow your dad is God. Okay. So she goes on to saying, y'all, now this is interesting. Now she has acted a fool on this show. She's pretty much made the ratings for at least that one show. But get into this, y'all. She has not spoken to shaunieoneal since the show has wrapped. Okay. And guess what? She ain't spoke to Evelyn either, honey. So none of those people who were egging her on, they have not reached out to her. And now she looking like a fool. Okay. Now she did say that Jennifer reached out to her, Brittany and Denise, but nobody else has contacted her. We knew this would happen. She goes into saying, that she unfollowed Ming Lee. Again, Ming basically said that after seeing the episode that she wanted to apologize to Jackie. So that's a problem for her because she feels like she didn't like the commentary that Ming gave. And I'm just like, allow people to feel how they feel. Okay. She goes, this is just a crazy chick, y'all. Now, as we get to the end of the interview and they are talking, I think I want y'all to hear this because at about 1 hour and 50 minutes, I kind of stopped taking notes because it's at the end and they're really not talking about anything. But I want y'all to hear this because this was just further proving that this girl is a nutcase. And I'm going to let y'all hear it for yourself. Now, what you're going to hear is she's going to pretty much say that that friend group is not really Jackie's friend group. And I'm just like, this girl is really, really crazy. I mean, this is just way too much. And unfortunately, everything was dying down. And now that she's did this interview, her dragging is going to start over now. Okay, so let's get into this part where she speaks on this friend group it's not really Jackie's friend group. Now, this is courtesy of Carlos King. Let me see. I don't even know what's Carlos King's channel. Okay, it's Reality with the King. So Carlos King, Reality with the King, y'all. So let's get into it.
Admit when I said that to Jennifer, I didn't come in Jackie's friend group. Mind you, Brittany is new, fairly new. Denise is definitely new. Ty is new. Ming is new. This is not Jackie's friend group. Jennifer, Brandy, and Evelyn is Jackie's friend group. Okay, cool. But y'all are acting like there's not this new group.
Can we look at how Carlos is looking? What is this chick? What? Girl, this is Jackie's show. Like, you gotta give her credit to come on here and continue to try to discredit your mother and make up lies. This is not Jackie's friend group.
Of people who have formed their own opinions based off of these interactions that they're witnessing on a day-to-day basis. They were there in Vegas in the house when the cameras weren't rolling. They heard the stuff she was saying. So to now get to this space where I feel like some of you are like, oh, how do I, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to, I'm not looking for a politically correct answer. Was it right or was it wrong? What you witnessed, was it right or was it wrong? If you are not basing anything else, not a childhood, not a nothing, off of what you experienced over the course of this season, was it right or was it wrong?
Do you think she did that for the audience, releases the statement?
I don't know, because I never took Ming really for real as like that type of person. So I was shocked. I just quietly unfollowed and just went on about my day. Because sis, if that's how you feel, I respect it. I'm not going to press you about it. It is what it is. And I just thought that we were better than that. But you just never know.
My hope is this for you and your mother. I obviously, I've not said this before, and I know your mom, and I want you.
Okay, guys, so I wanted to bring that snippet up. Now, the interview was 2 hours, I think maybe a little bit over 2 hours. So I think I did good. I recapped it in about 51 minutes or so. So y'all let me know what you guys think. My take on it is, I mean, again, we don't know the intricate details of their relationship, and we wouldn't know that. How would we? My only concern is to be out here calling your mama all these names, disrespecting her, peering with people that you know don't like her, allowing somebody that is your friend to call your mother a deadbeat. Girl, that's too much. That's a lot. And this is not going to work. Well, it hasn't worked out for you at all. And you know, you're going to have bad luck. And also, you have a daughter and you have a son who will probably do you the same way, because as much as you say you don't like this about your mother, you are exactly who your mother is. So for you to, you know, say you don't like her, you should work on not being her, because that's exactly who you act like.
Nothing, got the scoop on lock, spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the